Hello and welcome everybody, this is Rosie from Fine Lines Face and Body Art. Today I'm going to show you how to paint tropical leaves. Today I'm going to be using a 3/4 inch angle flat brush from facepaintstuff.com. It's a really nice soft brush with a very pleasant handle to hold, it's very comfortable. The split cake I'm using today is one I made myself. It has Diamond FX dark green, light green, fluorescent yellow and normal yellow. The idea of using the fluorescent yellow is one that I got from Kristin Olsen, who also uses it in her tropical leaves, and it really gives it a very juicy tropical look. We need to load the brush with the dark green at the longest edge of the brush. And we're going to go over first of all just how to do a normal leaf, an average leaf. The way I do it is to place the brush on the skin at an angle, push down on the brush as I move it upwards, and rotate it slightly to get a nice point. I'll show you again. Down at an angle, push the brush, rotate it slightly and get a nice point. There are two ways then to do the other side. You can either do what I've just done then and then come down on the other side from the top to the bottom, or the other way is to start back at the bottom on the other side and go up towards the top. That's actually what I normally do with rose leaves and other leaves. Start twice at the bottom and go to the top. I quite like the shape of those leaves. And then we can quickly put a stalk in using the long darker edge of the brush. Now the technique for the tropical leaves is similar, but instead of sweeping upwards, we sweep a little bit, have a break and sweep around a bit more. The important thing, as you can see here, is actually to use the yellow end as a bit of a pivot point, and that way all the leaf sections will be connected in the middle. So now I'll try and do another one of those leaves, doing it the other way around. So starting from the bottom upwards and then starting again at the bottom from the other side, going upwards again, and see if it works. It was actually quite hard to do it that way round, possibly because of the angle that I had to keep so the camera could see it, but I felt a bit candid. It really wasn't easy. So I think for me to do tropical leaves, it's easier to go up one side and back down the other. You'll have to just have a go and see what you think. To outline, I'm going to use the Local Nail 795 round number 1 brush and DFX regular black. So we can start outlining them. There are various ways to outline them. The simplest method is what I'm doing now. Start in the centre of the join, press down and then flick upwards. This gives you an illusion of depth, so that where the parts of the leaf join, that's the darkest and the deepest parts. I quite like it leaving it like that, but we will just have a go at other ways of doing it as well. So you can then go ahead and join all those lines up to give it a darker outline. And I've just noticed, sitting here, that I failed to do an outline in the topmost section there. That wasn't on purpose. I've just missed it. So I thought I'd show you what different shaped tropical leaves look like. I've made this template, if you like, just simply drawn some different shaped leaves on a piece of paper and put it, in this case, inside a plastic wallet, or you can use a practice board if you have one, a clear plastic board. Just to give you an idea that depending on what shape you paint, it gives you a different character to the leaf, and depending on what flowers these leaves are going with, you might choose a different sort of shape. It's quite fun to do. You can make a template yourself, or if you can't be bothered, I will actually put a link to this template if you want to download it and print it out at home. Save your time. But it's quite fun. I think I prefer, my favourite is on the bottom line, the one in the middle. For me, that's a real tropical shape leaf. But in nature, of course, leaves are all sorts of shapes and sizes, so choose the one that goes best with your design, or the one that you prefer. So for the top line of leaves, I'm going to do the outline as I did to start with, the gaps in between, and then joining up. Sorry about the camera, it couldn't decide what to focus on when I was doing that leaf. For the bottom line, I'm going to show you an alternative way to outline it. That means for this one, you start on the outside of the leaf and drag it inwards. And I think it gives the leaf parts a bit more flow to them, which might fit in with your design. You have to try them out and see. So push down and flick inwards rather than pushing down and flick outwards. Can you see it gives a really quite a different character to the top sort of leaf. I'll show you again the action that you need to do. Push down and flick. It's almost like a little butterfly, half butterfly wing, I guess. And I'm going to leave the last leaf au naturel, just so you can see the difference with the various techniques. On a couple, I popped on a few white lines that white blobs, that you sometimes find with tropical leaves. It gives it another texture, another focus point for you. So let's try a couple of other sorts of tropical leaves. This is more like a ferny leaf, I guess. I had to go with it on a very rounded shaped leaf, and just to show you what happens, but this technique doesn't really work very well with rounded leaves, because as you go around the outside you end up with a big hole in the middle, and even if you fill it in with the lighter colour, it doesn't really look very good. So this technique, this stipple technique, where you press down the brush and move it up slightly, following the contour of that drawn line, is really better for very thin leaves. There we go. And the last one we're going to do is sort of like a banana tree leaf, which is a combination of the first technique and this stipple technique. So some longer sections, some little shorter stipple sections, which if you look at real banana leaves are not actually symmetrical. So you can place the longer sections and shorter sections wherever you fancy, and it looks pretty cool. So there we have it, a few different sorts of tropical leaves for you. Have a go, have fun with it, and let me know how you get on. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.